Hi everyone, it's been a really long time and I actually accidentally deleted a video. I was going to do like a day in the life and I filmed like a whole explanation of what the plan was for the day. That's the part that I deleted. So then the clips that I got throughout the day didn't really make any sense without that. So I totally just gave up on it. But I have come on today to kind of do a new schedule. So I'm just writing something down to remember to mention it that I'd forgotten. Yeah, so basically I've been feeling really stuck with my 9-year-old schedule. I've been feeling like he's not loving anything that we're doing. And the whole point of home ed is that you find things that work for your kid and that they thrive and enjoy the learning that they're doing. If you hear like chewing and gross noises, that is my dog. He's chewing his new toy / destroying his new toy, so I have to keep an eye on him. Yeah, so basically I was feeling really stuck with him, like uninspired and everything. So I've been doing a ton of research. I've used all sorts. I've used like just researching, just watching other people's videos with 9-year-olds. Loads of people have these similar things. A lot of what he loves doing is like very techy, gaming online, and like it's incorporating that into his learning to try and make him, just to spark his interest. But there's also core learning that I want to do. He is diagnosed with ADHD and autism, so a lot of things come into play that maybe don't for a typical child, such as so he has some issues with handwriting and being able to write for a prolonged period of time. I was feeling quite stuck with that. I was feeling like the more he did, surely the better he got. And then I got some pretty eye-opening advice from some medical professionals dealing with him, and they basically just said in this day and age, as long as he can sort of like, you know, write when necessary, him writing paragraphs and paragraphs is just not something that's expected of people these days, and that maybe I'm worrying about that too much. But anyway, that's like kind of basically what's pushed me to sit down and really plan, really research, and basically just start a complete fresh with him. There is things that we have been doing that have been working and I'm going to keep to. There's things that I'm changing. And then I just wanted to quickly show you what I'm doing in the meantime before I implement all of these things, and sort of in that meantime where I'm like, this is not working. So basically he finished Math 4, teaching textbooks Math 4, and I said, right, let's move on to Math 5. So he is currently year 4, UK year 4, which would be Math 3. But he finished that really quickly. He's done Maths 4 in about a year, so he was ready to move on sort of 3 or 4 months ago to Math 5, but he did not want to do it. And then I just thought, because he's so ahead with it, I would give him a break from curriculum, and I'll just quickly show you what we've been using. So this is way below his level, but I was getting concerned that because we were using American curriculum, we were kind of missing some things, or because it was online, I was just a bit concerned because I noticed his timetable weren't very good. So we were using the White Rose Maths year 3. We've just been using that like literally in the last like month or so. And then we were also doing, I've got his little trolley. So I was also using these 10-minute tests. So it's like a double page spread and it should take them 10 minutes to concentrate on those times tables. And then also this Minecraft maths workbook. These are brilliant for kids that love Minecraft because it goes through a story. So you're following these kids through Minecraft. And then we've also got the English one that I've been using with him. So we've been using, the English one. So I was just going to take you through like the plan and what I'll mention at the point that I discuss it, what that's a change or whether that's something we've already been implementing. So basically when I go through his subjects and sort of the subjects I want to cover throughout the year, I'm looking at maths, English, reading. Obviously English includes the grammar, the spelling, all of that kind of thing. I know in America they call it language arts, but basically in the UK we just call it English, and it encompasses all of those things. Reading, geography, art, history and science. And then I've also written some elective things that he has chosen and he's asked, because this is like really important that we have these conversations. So he has a little bit and he wants to continue doing keyboard with his tutor. He has requested that he does a course on video editing specifically for his YouTube channel, which he has and has been doing for over a year now. It's been really, really good. He just wants some help with video editing and like creating thumbnails. And then video game design is something he mentions over and over again. He is trying a new club, trampolining. Just because of his physical health, we don't know how that's going to go, but he wants to give it a go, so we're going to give it a go. He wants to start going back to Pokemon Club. Again, because of his health, there was a few things we stopped. He does his coding club once a fortnight. He probably wants to try that once a week now. And then also we have started going to a new home ed group on a Friday, and that is the whole day on a Friday, apart from the half an hour in the morning where he does with his tutor. And that's working on comprehension and handwriting. The other thing we are thinking of maybe adding in, which I really wanted to get to and I just didn't, was the paw print badges. We did a few, but I want him to maybe pick one and then us work on it together. So I'll just, they're all the subjects we want to cover. It's actually quite a lot. And he's doing a good amount of socialising. So he does, so on Monday it would be trampolining, Pokemon Club would be a Thursday, coding's a Sunday, and then the home ed group is all day on a Friday. So the maths, I am considering just doing teaching textbooks, Math 5. It's super reasonable. It's £36.23 for a year worth of work, and he definitely learns stuff and he definitely works through it. Math 4 was definitely harder for him than Math 3, which was good, really pushed him, but at the same time it wasn't too difficult. I also want to get a times table book, because I've seen he really likes that kind of like how quickly can you do it kind of thing, and I think that would really help motivate him and see how much quicker he starts to do each timetable. It was recommended on a different home ed year 5 curriculum pick, so I might try and link her video because she's called Yes You Can Home Educate, and she's UK based and she's got really great videos and just really like affordable practical advice. Probably get him another times table workbook once he's finished the CGP 10-minute tests. He's only got a couple left. They're really, really reasonable, so I expect it to be a couple quid kind of thing. And then obviously we do so much real life math and math during game, like game night and stuff. So like we do Payday, Monopoly. He was selling some of his little bracelets he made and he was adding up his money. I think money is super important. It's something that we're like losing, them knowing how to add money and things. I have to take that toy away from the dog. Rex, what you doing, darling? You're not breaking it, are you? For math, I am considering that, but also I am really considering moving over to the Good and the Beautiful math because it's video based or something else video based. But I think it's maybe White Rose math that you can also, it's like videos. And then you print a worksheet that they do each day. It's not very much written work, like one worksheet, but then there was a few times that I had to print off lessons for him from teaching textbooks, like print off the physical lessons, and it actually was only like a page and a half of questions, like when you actually do the questions. So maybe I'm worried it's not enough math. He could obviously do two. It's about a 10-minute video and then a lesson, but I am considering The Good and the Beautiful because it is that video, and kind of part of it is hands off for me. As he gets older, I want him to be independent. So obviously The Good and the Beautiful is free download and access to the math app, but it's up to you, like whether you print it or you get it printed through something like Pingles. They're great. I love the ease of it. I've done that for my 7-year-old's language arts curriculum. It's not language arts, maths curriculum. It's like brilliant, and I love the math curriculum for my 7-year-old. Like I absolutely love it. But anyway, I'm like going off subject now. And if you have like anything about, I guess, religion, I suppose math is less likely to be an issue through them, because I don't think it comes into it, like the discussions come into it as much. Okay, so that's maths. Now English, The Good and the Beautiful 4 has really sparked my interest, because my 9-year-old keeps mentioning like volcanoes and like weather and things like that, and obviously not obviously, but if you don't know, The Good and the Beautiful language arts includes geography and art. So I think it's like every 4th lesson is maybe a 4th or 5th lesson is like geography or art, not English language. Well, I suppose it's included, but it's not like an English lesson. The issues I have is exactly like I've been mentioning about his writing, is I am thinking of using a like speech to text, like a voice note thing that types out, because it comes along with like a writing and spelling task workbook alongside like the teacher manual. So he's meant to use it independently, like the first 20 minutes, and then he's meant to go and do a task in this other book. The spelling ones is obviously very minimal writing, so I think he could do that. The writing tasks, I don't think they're called tasks, challenges, something like that. They are like paragraph of writing or more. And so what I'm thinking for that is, does he at that point type or voice note his answer and I just print that out? That is totally an option for me. That would still, I like to have a solid piece of work, so even if it's kept online, like I don't even print it, at least if I've got a trail of what he's been doing, I really like that. So maybe that's something I do. Also not pushing the writing, because with his tutor for half an hour a week, he works on his handwriting and comprehension, like comprehension tasks. And actually yesterday he did an hour with her. So yeah, so I'm not super concerned. She says he's where he should be. If she was really concerned, I know she'd be honest with me. So that also helps. I know his understanding of language is there. Just because he's not writing paragraphs and paragraphs, that does not concern me. He does also use Night Zookeeper. And I love Night Zookeeper, and it really prompts them and it really reminds them of like their work can be marked, like, I don't know if it's like AI now, but by a tutor and stuff. And yeah, so he does have that as well. And we'll continue obviously for him using that. With The Good and the Beautiful, there is readers. I don't know how much he's going to like them, but you have to use them in order to know the answers to the questions, and they'll be prompted to read about 20 minutes, which would be fine. On top of that, I have gone on to Book to Door, I think it is. Somewhere has got, might be Scholastic, somewhere's got a big book sale on at the moment, and he has just finished 2 Minecraft series, they're non-official ones, called like Stone Sword and Wood Sword series. It's all about kids going to a school and they play like on a Minecraft world. He's finished both those book series, and I found that they're a little bit easy for him, so I was looking at something a bit harder. the official Minecraft series is apparently like a little bit harder. So I'm thinking of getting that. I'm also thinking of getting Horrible Geography, which is like the horrible histories of horrible geography. It's like a 12-book series. At the moment, that's $14.99. Also heard really good things about Alex Rider, but I don't know whether the like idea of it he'll love. That whole series is $18.49 at the moment. And the other one, which I think will really interest him, which is a lot more expensive, but there's loads of them, and it's the full series, is The Last Kids on Earth. And yeah, so I was going to just get him some books, basically, that on top of the readers that he might not be super interested in from The Good and the Beautiful, he's got some good stuff to read independently. He also really loves reading fact books. He's been reading loads like Weird But True series, and yeah, when we go to the library, which we do go to and let him pick whatever, they are always non-fiction. He never picks up storybooks. That's who he is, and if he's reading and he's learning, I don't really care what it is. Reading is, in my opinion, like all reading is good reading. So okay, I'm gonna have to take the toy off him. I just realised I've been chatting for 17 minutes, so I'll try and like speed it up. I think it's important for you to know why as well, and like the reasons I think these are good for my 9-year-old, but you might hear that and go, yeah, my 9-year-old would not be into that. Obviously, geography is The Good and the Beautiful. I'm just like going down the list. Oh, and I will continue using, for English as well. What I've been doing with him, he finished the year 4 one of these, so he's quite far through the year 5 one actually of this. So again, this is really reassuring that he understands, like, most ideas he knows. It's crazy. Like, I'm like, how do you even know these ideas? Most of them he knows. The other thing I'm really interested in is Fix-It Grammar, because you edit things, and I think he might be more interested in that, to like correct it. I'm going to shut the dog out. Sorry, it's been so noisy. I'm going to edit this back and all you're going to hear is the dog. That would drive me crazy. So yeah, we're going to continue with this until he's done with it. Also continue with this until he's done with it, which is a bit lower, again, for the level of writing. And again, I might just get him to type this up. So in the whole sense of like typing, not making him write as much, I want to find a good typing course for him, and that is just something I haven't done yet. But yeah, I'm literally writing down typing course because I hadn't, but it just literally popped into my head. I need to get him a good typing course because he can type. Obviously, he uses a keyboard with his tablet, and his PC. But yeah, it's important. So another really great thing for English that I have found is something called Once Upon a Picture, and I'll put a link down because my explanation won't be that great. But basically, there is a variety of artwork, and you pick a piece of artwork, and then under the piece of artwork there is a number of questions, and then there is also like sometimes a challenge. So the question could be, where is this based, and you've got to kind of imagine where it's based. And then it just might be like, write a 200-word short story, or write the beginning to this story, or something like that. And I think that could be a really fun thing to just do as an off on a day that maybe I don't have much for him. Honestly, like, I'm gonna say this like in a sense that don't feel pressure. I am saying I'm going to try The Good and the Beautiful for language arts, and obviously that on its own would be enough. I'm not saying that we're going to get 4 lessons of that done a week plus all of this. I am saying that with my 9-year-old, variety is great. He likes to be able to feel like he is choosing what he's doing. So if I can say to him, okay, do you want to do Good and the Beautiful today, or do you want to do some comprehension, or do you want to do some like zookeeper, or do you know? And I think the way that works for us is, if I am just seeing that we're getting at least a bit of something done each week, and it's not just like night zookeeper every day, there's balance, I think that's absolutely fine. I want to be able to give him choice. We were using Draw right now. He's bored of that. That's a lovely thing, and I think it's lovely for a younger child. I'm thinking of starting it with my 7-year-old actually. But basically, there's a drawing tutorial and then copy work. I think he's beyond copy work now, and that's fine. It's good to know. Like, it's good to know that we've got to that point. He loved it for the first half of the year. Then he was kind of like, none of the pictures interest me, so I don't want to do them, and that's fine. So moving on to art, obviously there will be art projects in The Good and the Beautiful. It's not every day that there will be one. There are craft and art projects within our history curriculum, so a mix of that. He's not super arty, if I'm honest. He likes crafts, he likes making things, he likes clay, so we do incorporate things like that. And then our history is the story of the world still, and then unit studies. There's a few things that the kids have been interested in, and I've seen some pretty cool looking unit studies on, like the Titanic. Also we read the Puffin Keeper, and there was some mention of like World War II, and I think the boys might be interested in that. My husband's really interested in like World War II and things. So is my brother, and we're really lucky because we have the Tank Museum, and I've forgotten what the other one is. It was with all the planes. We're really close by to them, so there'd be a really cool number of like field trips and things that we could take and learn more. So I think that might be something that we incorporate into history. There is so much. And then science, I feel like I'm lapsed with science, to be honest. We were doing some with our unit studies, but honestly, when your child's not interested in something, they're not going to learn, and he's not into science. He does keep going on, like I said, about volcanoes, so I'm like, is there a way we can incorporate like chemistry or something? But we'll see. I also, from Yes You Can HomeEdUK, she also recommended Explore Key Stage 2 Science course. There's also obviously Key Stage 1, Key Stage 3. I think that's the 3. And they're really affordable. I think they're about £50 for the whole year's worth of, and they're video lessons, and then they tell you, I think it's CGP books to buy alongside it, workbooks. It's like a head teacher that does them. And I'm just thinking, if we do that, at the moment, I'll show you what we've been using. The moment I hope I haven't taken this little, no, it's still in there. It's still his pencil holding his sheet. So I would say he's about a third of the way through this science and environment official workbook from the Minecraft as well. This is like teaching, and then he does it on Minecraft, the activities, and he actually really enjoys that. So he's been doing that alongside like any just learning we do. And then where's the other one? Then I just have like a 9+ science one to just have an idea of what he knows. But yeah, he just doesn't have much interest in it. Then keyboard, he does, like I said, with a tutor once a week, and then practices. I'm going to ask her to do it more frequently because she did it a few times, and now I'm like, let's increase that because he does enjoy it. Now, the video editing, YouTube stuff is obviously a lot in his free time when he films the videos. He edits them, comes up with ideas, writes scripts, makes thumbnails. He's been doing so much great work on them. But he wants a bit of help with the editing, and I'm not very good, which you'll see from my videos. So I am considering getting him an Outschooled membership, the lowest one, which is like $40, whatever that is in the UK, which pays for one lesson a week. Yes, I think. I have found this really, and I don't know whether I'm going to be able to link it, but I found this really amazing woman teacher. It's called Miss Gracie or something, and it sounds right up his street, and it's like beginner. She also does some Minecraft like summer camps and stuff. which sound really creative and fun. So I am thinking of doing that. It's a 7-week course, so we do one a week for 7 weeks. And then I'm thinking he'll move on to a video game design one, again from Outschooled. So that would mean that I can get away with just paying for the lowest band. The other place that I've seen, and I'm going to get my husband, who's more techie than me, to look into it, is Software Academy. It is a much bigger investment. I've not worked out how much it is. It is a much bigger investment, but it's a UK based company. They offer self-paced, so does this lady on Outschooled. A lot of the Outschooled offered like self-paced, that's what it's called, where you just pre-recorded. Software Academy offer that, but they also offer like live term time classes. I don't know what's cheaper. I think that pre-recorded is the cheapest option, and it's still like mega expensive. It's not that I'm saying expensive like it's not worth it, it's just like when you have 3 kids to home educate, you have to be sensible. So he's going to be trying out Outschooled basically, and he's super excited about that. I think he felt really heard when I've had these conversations with him, and that I'm like respecting what he wants to learn about, but also being honest with him and saying, yeah, I see that you're not liking what we're doing in maths and English at the moment, but we do need to do maths and English, so mummy's going to try and change it up for you, and let's see if this works, and like bear with me basically. And then I think I mentioned his classes. I've mentioned his clubs already, I think. So I think that's everything for his year 5 year, and I've turned my whole mood around on it because I was like dreading it. I was like not sure, and to be honest, we do year round, so it's not like I'm going to stop this and then start the other. It will just slowly like peter out what we were doing before and put in the new stuff, I think is probably what's going to happen. There's no real break. It might be nice for him to open the books and stuff. I also tend to go January to January, so that's like interesting that I'm probably going to be changing things out come September. We're actually only just over halfway through our year, month 8, so a bit more than that. In my head I've still got like 4 months left of the year, but so maybe I'll start from September now, I don't know. Obviously my year 7 child, my 7-year-old and my 13-year-old are like midway through a lot of things, and it basically happened that my 9-year-old wasn't doing great in some stuff, but also finished his maths curriculum so early that it was like kind of just filling the gaps, because he was done with his maths like beginning like March, maybe April. He was finished with math 4. So, but I hope this has been helpful. I'm going to try and do one for my 13-year-old. My 7-year-old is kind of a bit interesting. But I think for my 13-year-old, it will be like an updated version of what she's doing, and similarly with my 7-year-old. But both of them have changed quite significantly over the year. So it might be useful to you to see what did or didn't work for us. But thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this is helpful, and hopefully I can link some of the resources that I'm hoping to use and are using down below. Thanks, bye.